Nigga, at 11 o'clock, we signing the fuck off.
Listen, man, don't nobody know y'all niggas, man. Y'all need me.
Wait.
So you
What you say, Hemp?
the internet, because I don't know what
Hemp, what do you say to him? Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
Yeah, man. Golly. If come on, let's be honest, man. If Alex step a pinky toe past
what happened?
nobody noticed.
Yo,
I send that shit.
Let's get back to it though. You know, like we never fell off.
Oh, we back live. Let's go.
Hold on. Q, you're not good at intro. Let me handle that. Yo, I apologize.
I just got my entertainment on, man.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll be back. Hey, y'all do me a favor. Shoot the stream out real quick.
Yo, Hemp, put me in the left corner, man. Your mic is messed up. You scratchy. Yeah, you ain't right, B.
Sounded better. Go ahead.
Like I was saying. Listen,
let her land.
Word.
Let me land though.
We can't hear you.
Well, Hemp say, hey, Hemp, my mic better. Shut up. Let's go.
Everybody, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Please like, share, subscribe. We're back. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit the like button.
Yeah, ain't nothing coming out of that mic.
The mute your mic, Hemp.
Thanks.
Thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, so the question, you can see it scrolling on the bottom. Some people are just with us on the audio. It is, would you get off social media at the request of your partner or someone you wanted to take seriously? And right before we had our intermission, Chief was asking me on the entertainment side, if people are popping in my DMs, if I would take myself off of social media. And I was basically explaining that this has been a conversation between me and my partner, that is not something that I would entertain. Likewise, she is also into a lot of things on the municipal, I think that's how you say it, side. And so we've already decided that that's not an option for us. Back to Chief's point, when you use social media with a purpose, and it's not just you're up there clowning and fooling around and fucking around and just up there to like people's shit, it's a very difficult decision to just say, okay, I have this following. This is what generates money for me or generates money for us. And I'm just going to throw it away because, 3 or 4 people find me attractive and we're in my DMs. So before you met that person, there's a way that they function. And that was kind of the premise for me, was whatever was going on before me is probably still going to be happening. I had to decide, does this work for me? You know what I'm saying? So when you have that insecurity of like, how can I say it? Somebody was mentioning bikinis and shit. Like if you was rocking bikinis and doing all that type of shit before me, how the fuck I'm gonna get with you and then be like, nah, that shit gotta change. Obviously, I knew what the fuck I was getting into before I started dealing with you. So I can't just come in and just start regulating shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how I feel about it. And the same for me. Like, if I was using terms of endearment with people that, follow me on social media, I'm not stopping doing that just because of, whatever feelings you may have about it, because everything's done tastefully and with respect. And I have to trust that you are also moving in the same way.
So Q, can I ask you a question? If your partner did ask you to do that, does it, because in my head it's different, but does it not represent insecurity to you? Does it not feel like that, or controlling?
Yeah, that's what that would be.
Okay.
At that point, yeah, I think either way, yeah. If you like I was saying before, like if you're trying to now say, this isn't okay to do this, and I don't like that, and change this and get off of that, it goes both ways. Whoever's doing that shit is controlling, and it does scream insecurity.
What if that other? What if one person wants to make that change on their own though?
Then that's on them.
Out of respect, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really see Angela Simmons naked no more. Just keeping it a buck.
Well, I think that's out of respect of themselves, right? Like,
or it could have been a conversation. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But she ain't taking it down because it brings her money. That's her business.
Yeah. I mean, to answer Bub's question, if they're doing it out of respect, that at the end of the day, even if it's a conversation, that probably is more respect to themselves. It has nothing to do with the other person.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is respect in general. Like me personally, like anything that makes my husband feel uncomfortable, I'm willing to get rid of it. But at the same time, I would have had to do something that upsetted you. So if I didn't do anything that bothered you and you just randomly one day are like, get rid of your social media, like I'm gonna be confused. You know what I'm saying? And again, it would have to be a mutual thing to me. If I'm getting rid of mine, you getting rid of yours, like where is this coming from? And it's just like, because, you know, just like Alex and, you know, a lot of other people, I barely even post full body pictures on social media. I'm in Florida, but all my family and friends are back home in Connecticut and Philly and things like that. So it's like, that's my contact with people. A lot of people don't have my phone number. So that's how I see what's going on, what people are doing. That's how they can see, you know, my kids when I post them and things like that. But again, I'm not for anything that would make my spouse uncomfortable, but let it be within reason.
So Mary, this is funny because your husband's a plumber, so there's like the double entendre behind this shit. So if he uses social media to promote his business, you know, a handsome black man in the plumbing business, and this wild, you know, chicks looking at just happen to scramble by his page, a handsome black dude who's a plumber, and they slide in his DM, make a bunch of them just in his DM talking some reckless plumbing jokes and shit like that. Do you feel some type of way about that? Because there's nothing he's doing. He's just promoting his business, but you got these ratchets out here trying to chase him. Does that bother you? Do you make him take it down? What do you say to him about that? Is it an issue?
Well, you'd be surprised because I manage all of that. So if you jump in his DMs, you're going to get me. So I don't like, you know, I'm the one on the back end. I'm the one that takes the phone calls. I'm the one that, you know, does all that end of it. So if they do try, you're going to get me.
So it's happy administrative day to you too, Mary.
Word. Yeah, I want to answer this question. Honestly, I could do without social media. But like P said though, the only reason I primarily got on social media is to fucking sell clothes. But I could do without the shit. And I never wanted social media. You know, my wife is the one that put me on social media. She kept it a buck. She was like, yo, you ain't gonna sell shit unless you get social media. So she set it up for me, honestly. But if I had to give this shit up tomorrow, it wouldn't be a problem to me. But not solely based off of her saying, listen, I don't want you to have social media anymore, because I don't like people telling me what to do. But I could give it up though tomorrow. It's no big deal to me.
So I missed some of it. So how many people said they would give it up? Ro, Mary.
I couldn't give it up.
Maybe Gunny.
Yeah, it just all depends on the situation. You know, if you're bringing in money to the family and everything like that, then it has to be a case by case basis. You know, if with the example that Mary used, you know, her husband's a plumber. You know, but if he's making social media posts with him with a shirt off and his six pack abs showing, saying, hey, I'm the plumber that's gonna come fix your pipes or whatever the case may be, then of course that's disrespectful. But you know, you can always turn it around and say, hey, he's bringing money into the business. But then again, you're bringing in money, but that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But if he's not doing that and he's respecting the fact that he has a union, he has a marriage, then yeah, of course, support him. You know, I just think that it's a case by case basis. And I do agree with Chief. You know, it really is an insecurity issue. You know, I'm married. My wife has a social media account. And, you know, before we got together, I mean, she wasn't posting thirst traps on social media, but at the same time, you know, I'm going to have a problem with her holding the phone up and posting selfies and posting booty pics. You know, there's an extreme to it. You know what I'm saying? So if she's doing that and she feels, oh, it's my life and I want to do what I got to do, then yeah, I got a problem with that. You know, so I just think it's just different for every situation. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna give you so Gunny, if your shorty was, you know, let's happen to say she was a a model of a sort. You know what I'm saying? And literally, that's how she made her money, by taking pictures and showing herself. Does that then represent an issue for you? It happened after you got married, though. Like she fell into her modeling career after, and now they're like, "Yo, we'll give you a bunch of money for these bikini pics." Does that make a difference for you?
If I got with her knowing that, then I'm a fool for asking her to stop doing it. I'm a fool because I met her doing that. I accepted her doing it. So now that she's doing it, I'm going to ask her to stop. I'm a fool. If I met her and she wasn't doing that, and all of a sudden she's trying to do that now, and I ask her to stop, then I'm justified.
Yo, I want to throw it back at Hamp, though. I want to throw it back at Hamp. Because let me tell you something, man. This shit was wild funny. If y'all haven't seen it, Hamp went viral not too long ago.
True.
That ass. And his wife had to deal with all that. Big teddy bear ass motherfucker.
Yeah. He can't, his mic, bro, he can't talk. Ham, write it down and hold up a poster so we can see what you're talking about.
So I thought that was wild comical, though. But how would you have felt, Hamp, if she was like, nah, yo, you getting wild too much attention. I want you off social media now. Because that shit was funny, though.
It was funny as hell.
Yes,
Man,
it was.
What happened?
I remember that with the was it like sunblock or something? Like,
yeah, we had this black girl sunblock or some shit, and she was putting it on me in Jamaica, and then the sunblock people, the actual company, reposted it, and then it posted on like Watch Daily, like something like Shade Room or some shit, and then the comments was like, I
love a big black man to rub on like that. Ooh, look at them muscles and yada yada yada.
But she just reposted this shit, like whatever.
So if the roles were reversed and it was you putting a sunblock on your lady and it went viral like yours did, how do you respond?
I would probably I hate when people answer like I wouldn't do that. So if I made a decision to do it and make a video out of it, I did it for that purpose.
Right.
Because my wife, she was trying to grow her podcast. So she was trying to grow her Wife Life podcast. So that was her doing something for me as her husband. And then that shit kind of caught fire. So it was intentional. We didn't think it was going to go viral. You know what I'm saying? But it was intentional in that way. But yeah, nah, man, they was feeling me. I don't blame them, though.
But I think the bigger thing is either way, it doesn't stop the access.
Yes, it does.
But it doesn't. Cutting off social media. Listen, my husband as a plumber, he has showed up to these companies and did plumbing at these companies. And women, I've been on the phone with him and heard another woman tell him.
No, I understand that.
Like the access is still there.
If you create access points, it's more access. You can't say that. No, does it halt the access? No, but it diminishes the access greatly. Because now they see your husband. Let's say maybe it's the administrator, and she come out the back. He fixing the pipes in the toilet. Right now she can see him, see the shirt. Now she can go look him up on Google and Instagram and all that and get closer. If he not on there, she can't do all that. So yeah. If people are attractive, people are gonna approach them in person. But now social media, now it's the whole world.
But if you're with a person who has a problem with the access, then that speaks to your relationship.
What do you mean?
Just like Mary said, the access is going to be there. So you can diminish, just like you said, DJ Ham, you can diminish the access, but why are you diminishing the access? Are you diminishing the access because this person struggles with it and they have an issue with it? Or are you diminishing the access because I really can't think of another reason why? You want to diminish the access for a person who struggles with it. But to go to Chief's point, if you don't struggle with that at all, it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You can have 4 or 5 multiple outlets access to your dude or your woman or whatever, but if you know they're not going to capitulate to, somebody trying to hit on you, it really doesn't. It's not an issue.
Here's the problem with women. They're emotional. if you listen at why women dissolve their marriages, let alone relationships, is because they didn't feel a certain way, right? And so if you're dealing with a being such as that, you can't tell me that it makes logical sense to create access for all other men if a being is going to act emotionally. That's not even rooted in insecurity. It just in terms of just thinking through a situation.
Well, are we talking about creating access or denying access? That's two different things. So if you have a problem with your mate having access to these issues, that's a whole different story from creating access for those issues. Does it make sense? I don't know if I'm.
Yeah,
Aren't you talking about like if they already had social media before their relationship and
no. So I tried it. So Brooke, I didn't want to frame it in such a way because I wanted it to be more open, but I did kind of allude to someone you wanted to take seriously. So in that, the assumption I was hoping would be is kind of like at the beginning of the relationship. So before you get on some Huggy Bear shit, you having this conversation. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like it still just comes from trust. Like, I'm not really, social media is not really going to make me feel insecure about my partner's status if I trust that person. I mean, no matter where they are, social media or not social media, if they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. If they're going to have temptation, they're going to have temptation. So for me, I feel like if you ask me to delete my social media, it's probably not going to happen because we need to talk about what's the bigger problem.
Well, hold on though, Brooke. What if this person, right, that you're dealing with, the significant other, whoever it is, what if they not posting you?
I don't care about that. I'd rather them not. I don't care. I don't need people in my business. I have my page for mostly business, but also because, I have my kids and their family is not my relative. So I try to post stuff that is, that is for their family, but for me, I feel like I don't think any of these females here don't get crazy pictures inside their messenger and stuff like that.
See?
For me, I feel like it's a trust thing and it's communication. If you guys have that communication, I don't even need to see your stuff.
So what if you're in a brand new relationship and you feeling yourself, you got your hair done, you got your makeup done or whatever, and you want to take your selfie and you want to post your picture. And then 2 days later, your man comes up to you and says, well, I don't think that's appropriate. Your new man.
I'm going to ask him what's not appropriate about the picture first.
Well,
I want to understand where he's seeing it first. For me, if I feel that it's tasteful and I want to have it on my social media, I don't feel like I'm going to allow that to happen because for me, one, it shows a sign of insecurity, but it also shows control. Been there, done that. And not that I wouldn't be respectful. If it was distasteful, if I had like cleavage or something that he really, and I saw eye to eye with it, then yeah, I would say, okay, I see what you're talking about and it is what it is. But honestly, I don't feel like social media is that serious.
You would take it down?
If
No, she would have the argument first. She just said it.
Not an argument. I would need to see where he's coming from if I thought it was tasteful enough to post.
So okay. So where I'm coming from, right? We're in a new relationship, and I ask you, why did you post it in the first place? And then what's your answer?
I mean,
y'all 6 months
need to know what the problem is with it. For me, I would just have to ask what is the problem with the picture?
No. That's not what I asked you. We're in a relationship 6 months in, and I asked you.
And I just posted a selfie.
Why did you post it?
Because I was feeling myself.
My man is wild.
So, Brooke, I got a question for you real quick. You mentioned something about trust. So is it you trusting yourself or you trusting the person?
I don't have control over what is going to happen. I can only trust that you would make the best decision on my behalf. No matter how much I try to control your social media and I'm trying to be in your messengers, and that shows first of all, it's too much work. Second, I feel like for me, I shouldn't have to do that if we already see eye to eye. I shouldn't.
Let me ask some questions. All right, Brooke, do all men cheat?
Just like most, not all.
I know all don't mean all, but you catch my drift. Do all men cheat?
It happens. There's temptation. Things happen. Yeah, I don't. Again, not all, but
but that's what y'all be saying.
But on both
right?
ends.
Niggas ain't shit. All men cheat. So you
Nah.
opening this door. Now watch this. Let's say y'all follow some of the same people, right? And you see your man name every time she posts her cleavage on her ass. Because guess what it does? Brooke liked it, Hamp liked it, and 1,000 others, right? Based on so there's so many ways why this social media can be a hindrance that y'all not thinking about. Because that shit seeps into your sub. Come on, Chief, go ahead, Chief. You cut me off like the ladies. Go ahead, Chief. Go.
I caught myself. Go ahead.
All right. You hang around Alex and shit. So you know what I'm saying? And I think people not thinking about even those small double taps. Because men just anytime you see a little ass, you just double tap. Right? You don't even mean it. Sometimes it just be a girl. You be like, okay, double tap. But then you keep seeing his name on the same girl, same double tap all the time. You saying what? Oh, you trust him, so it ain't about nothing?
For me, I'm not even going to see that you double tapped on it because I'm not looking for that. For me, honestly, like
you don't have to look
I guess
for it.
There's
though.
probably people like that. But if he double tapped on somebody's picture, it really wouldn't. So I don't take social media that serious.
What I'm saying is, you don't have to look for it, right?
Right.
So it'll show you based on who's popular. Go ahead.
I'm 100% honest. I would not get upset about it.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, so that's why I asked her the question, would she be trusting herself or trusting her partner?
Right, because I don't have control over what's going to happen. So if it happens and I find out about it down the line with double likes and stuff like that, hearts and all that, I don't really care about that stuff. It could have been a quick, I'm just tapping because I like the picture. I don't care about all that. Most of the time, if I'm with somebody, I don't have them on my social media.
Oh, so I mean, it really goes back to the original question.
Hold on, Gunny, don't, because you be asking complicated questions. Let that shit marinate for a second. So, let me get this straight.
I just
y'all been talking about Brooke. Let me finish.
When you're in a relationship,
God Almighty, Brooke, you must learn from the black girls that you could just cut me off. Is that what that is? Huh?
No.
Q, tell him let me land. Why you don't never help me, Q?
Go ahead.
Nigga, I be helping myself. Fuck be helping me. That's why I say let me land.
That's true.
You got you.
I mean, you're right. So Brooke, you don't follow these people.
Let me tell you, I have Instagram, I have Snap, I don't go on any of that. I really don't. I might post some reels and stuff like that, but I don't even sit on my phone to like dig through everything. Maybe on Facebook is the most, but I don't even have the time. I got other priorities. I don't have the time to be searching to see what he's doing because that means I'm insecure about our relationship. And if that's the case, then we have to talk.
Yeah, I hear you talking.
But Pete though. So right, like Hemp was saying, the way the algorithm is set up and shit, your guy that you feeling, you see that, well, you notice because you said you ain't checking, but you start to notice that there's a pattern with his ass. He keeps liking the same chick shit, right? And then, like I said, you already been in the game for 6 months. Now you get to 9 months, you find out that homie cheated with, said female. You gonna blame social media for this? Or you gonna put all the blame on this man? Now, would you feel like if it wasn't for social media, your relationship could have been that much stronger if he didn't have that temptation of him liking his chick's ass all the time?
How does that make my relationship weaker?
How does it make it weaker?
Yeah,
because he has the exposure. He's exposed to this female every day now because they're friends on social media. She's posting ass pics 5 times a day. He constantly double tapping. Damn, that ass juicy. He constantly double tapping.
I mean, if you're given the scenario like as if I seen it and I felt some type of way, I would bring it to his attention and just you be on that page real hard. Why are you tapping so much? Communication. I mean, he likes what he sees. He says that. Then that's it's not going to make or break my relationship because he's tapping on a picture. It's just like open a book of Playboy.
But what if that? But I said, what if he cheated with said woman though?
Oh, that's different.
Listen, niggas.
Would you blame social media?
I'm blaming the person because no matter what, there's always access to anything.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
She about to go left, yo.
About to go left. But not so. I was gonna say even in so me talking about being so secure and blah 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 blah. If I notice that pattern that Hamp was talking about, I'm not oblivious to. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, nah, sure. I'm not gonna ignore that shit. Like I'm gonna be like, yo, this shit look a little suspicious. You know what I'm saying? It's not coming from an insecure place. It's like, yo, I'm starting to see a pattern. What's good? We got to have that conversation. I'm not gonna ignore shit like that, but I'm not gonna let. If you notice a detrimental pattern on social media, you gotta address it. But I'm not searching for this shit. I'm not digging through stuff. I'm not going through all that. But if she's making it obvious and I can see the shit, you got to say something. You have to.
You got to understand at the same time, these niggas that's really out here fucking these bitches, they're not in their likes. They're not in their comments. You're not going to see it there. If they've already fucked, you're not going to see it there.
Yeah, then I got to deal with the repercussions of getting played.
Right. You might.
Because I was too fucking trusting. That's what I'm. Go ahead, man.
You might see the little likes and stuff like that when a nigga trying to throw a hint that he trying to smash. But once a nigga fuck, you're not seeing him in those likes and those comments and all that shit. He gonna be smashing behind the scenes and you not gonna know because that shit is not gonna be on social media. He gonna like, nah, I can't.
Again, so I get your point. Like it can all be avoided by not having social media, but if I'm gonna get played, I'm gonna get played, and and you got to deal with the repercussions of it afterwards. And that's just how I look at it.
Yeah.
I think y'all kind of missing. I ain't gonna hold you. Chaotic, what's good?
What's going on, man?
Hey, Chaotic, let Brooke know you love her off top.
Off the rip.
What's going on, guys? This might be risky. DJ Hamp, is it my turn to speak, sir?
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
Well, I hate to throw a monkey wrench in the program here, but you have
no, you don't. Nigga. No, you don't.
You have young people watching this. All you gotta do is check your algorithm. Mm-hmm. Women between the ages of 18 to 24 should be on Instagram, should be on TikTok, should do OnlyFans. If you are over, particularly the age of 30. My God, the last place you need to be is on social media. God made your beautiful soft hands to wrap around a mop, to wash dishes. Your social media should be in the kitchen or around children, being a babysitter of sorts. It is absolutely shameful to hear women talk about social media and Instagram and niggas sliding in their DMs at your age. I can't believe what I'm hearing. When I was younger, my mother used to go to Sunday school and Bible study and choir rehearsal. Now my dad didn't go, but that's where a woman should be at, particularly if you're single. Being on Instagram and meeting people this way, you guys should literally hear yourselves and play this back and listen to yourselves. It's debauchery. What I believe is America is going through what Rome went through, what Greece went through, the decline and the decay. Alcohol, weed, smoking, sexual exploitation. This is demonic. Now, you guys are adults. You can do what you want to do. But you guys should really hear yourselves. Did your grandmothers talk like this? Did your great-grandmothers talk like this? You should listen to yourselves, ladies. Yeah, it's not cute being 34, 35 talking like this. Niggas in DMs and how niggas and stop. Bible study, choir rehearsal. If you're a Muslim, be at the mosque. The library is also a good place to meet a man if you don't have one. Coffee shops. Stay away from social media. That's all I gotta say, B-Ham. I can't believe what I'm listening to.
I can't even understand why you're not even talking about what we're talking about.
Right.
Like,
ma'am.
Everything.
See, this is the problem, DJ Ham. The title.
That had
DJ Ham.
You didn't answer the question on the screen.
Hold on for a second, ma'am.
The question.
Ma'am, we were talking. I literally came in and I heard Brooke talking about social media, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I'm just talking about what is in the title.
It was if the situation.
I'm talking about what was in it. I just can't.
We're talking about people in men's DMs. specifically. So that's what we ended up talking about.
Well, it's all debauchery, whether it's a man's DM or not. A man should be working, should be focused on getting married, not playing around in DM. So even with men, it's childish. And I can't believe that we as 30 and 40-year-olds are talking about social media and who's DMing who. It's childish.
That's why this is not your show. This isn't your show.
It's not, and neither is it yours.
We're talking about social media.
Yes, I understand that, and I'm giving my opinion about social.
You still ain't.
This might be risky. I mean, what type of show do you have going on over here? I thought that I could talk about social media.
Yeah.
If you want to answer the question that's on the screen. On the screen. If you want to be
would you get off social media at the request of your partner or someone who wanted to take you seriously? Again,
he's not.
Again, and I saw it scrolling on the screen. You should never get to that point in the get-go as an older person. You shouldn't be on social media as a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old. So the fact that you even have to ask someone to get off is a problem in itself. You shouldn't be on there in the first place. Thank you.
Is that a yes or no?
You guys have a good one, man.
Thank you.
Okay, again, answer the question. Yes, I would ask my partner to get off social media. Yes, to answer the question blankly. Okay.
No, would you get off if your partner asked you?
Yes.
Do you have social media?
Only for business, and I barely use it. My assistant, well, hold on for a second. My assistant actually uses my Instagram. I don't use the Instagram for anything. I don't even really go on it because I have no reason to. I have a wife. I don't need to look at naked whores. I don't need to do that. I have pride in myself. I have a lot of standards I set for myself.
I can understand.
And you think I like looking at 21-year-old girls all day? No.
Isn't your girl only like 28 or something?
My wife is 27. Yes.
Right. She's not that far. Like,
all right. I want to. All right, hold on. Let me. All right, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I see what y'all was trying to do there, but you know, trying to get your licks back. I think, but I can understand it. All right, let me ask this question. This maybe might even go down the road that Chaotic was on. Now, this question was framed by Eddie. Shout out to Chef. It is very wordy, as you might expect. And I think it is clear though. So, is social media one of the main catalysts in the lack of respect for the sexual temple that is the body? Do we honor lust over the healthy path towards responsibility, love, and companionship? I knew it was wordy. I should have read it out loud before I read it. So people are, right, because of social media, lust is over sex or love, responsibility, and companionship. And there's a lack of respect for the body as a sexual temple. What you guys think?
It's been that way since the beginning of time.
Right.
So
but
that's
is social media one of the main catalysts this day and age?
No,
Absolutely.
social media. No, social media is a reflection of what the reality is as far as human beings. It's been that way forever.
I'm saying yes.
Okay,
I'd say yes too. In the spirit of my man Eddie, and I quote, "The spirit of the Jezebel is alive and well."
So Gunny's saying that it's always been like that. Does social media enhance it in a way, or just easy to see now?
Easier to see.
Both.
More open. Mm-hmm.
It's not easier to see. It just gives different access to what we've already been exposed to from hundreds and hundreds of years. You know, social media didn't always exist, but there were always brothels. There were always easy access to sex. Sex sells. Sex has sold for thousands of years. Sex has always been a priority. You know.
Wait a minute. So you don't? So we didn't have Pornhub in 1996.
But there were still porn videos.
You definitely had the Bunny Ranch
Listen,
and the brothels.
Stop for a second, because y'all making a little bit of a mess. We did not have Pornhub or X videos or X. Those things are a totally different ball game than watching a squiggly line on channel 99. And that is social media.
But I think Chief brought up the point we had brothels. I mean that's a recent example.
But
Yeah, but it's in a more private setting. Like some of these outfits that you see on social media nowadays, these chicks ain't really walking around like that. All that shit be for social media, man.
Because the key word in the question is lust.
Yeah, it's creating all this lust. You know what I'm saying?
Because they made it
Pornhub is
okay.
social media, all that. Because the biggest search engine is YouTube. It's not Google. So Pornhub, Xvideo, that's all social media. I want y'all to understand that. You can create profiles, you can talk to people and everything. You can't tell me that all those naked pictures don't create a more lustful society and less about love and companionship.
It does.
I think the answer is yes, because it brings us back to the first question. You know, we're talking about Lizzo. And if we're answering the question based off of, you know, those highlighted words that says one of, then I think everybody's kind of saying yes without saying yes. Because to Gunny's point, yeah, it's not the only, but I would say, to answer the question fairly, it is one of the main catalysts, especially in today's society, for the lack of respect of the body. And I think that's why, you know, men, to Mary's point, are lusting the way that they are, because that shit's just being put out there, and it's not in a tasteful way, as we saw with the Lizzo photo, not in a tasteful way at all. To Chief's point, you're getting the girls with the selfies, but those selfies are coming with filters. Everything is intended to be overly sexualized, and then it's like we even become what do you call that, desensitized to all this shit. So that's my answer.
And it's made more okay now than ever.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you know, back in the day, even though yes, sex has been selling for a long time, it was an embarrassment. You know what I mean? It wasn't something that was praised upon. Now it's like, oh, I got this OnlyFans, like follow me and this and that. And, you know, it's more out there as if it's something to be respected when it shouldn't.
Is it a bad thing?
Is it a bad thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Question, and I want to get chaotic in question. Women, are any of you guys for sexual liberation?
Great question.
Answer so they can hear us on the podcast.
Can you get the definition?
No.
Come on, bro.
Oh.
Great question.
Yeah, we ain't
great
playing
freaking question.
You don't want to give me the definition?
So, Alex, you say yes?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, I'm for sexual liberation.
Okay. Brooke, you for sexual liberation?
No.
Bro?
Yes.
Mary?
I'm to an extent.
That's not an answer.
I know.
Was she not going to give an answer?
No, that's not an answer for you. That's my answer.
Come on now. Are you for sexual liberation or not?
It's levels to it. I can't just say yes and I can't say no. Like, it's levels to it.
Okay,
I don't believe people should sell pussy, but I believe that you should be able to have sex with somebody you're not married to. So yes, there's different ends of it.
Okay. So you are for lust though, because you initially said lust was bad.
Who said lust was bad?
You said, I said, so is this lust culture? Is it bad? You said yes. But now you're saying you should be able to fuck.
I thought you were asking, is it bad? Like, is the
lust bad? That's what I said.
Yeah. I mean, lust as in what though? You're saying like lust as in, because I'm thinking about it as
all right,
I'm thinking about it.
Gather your thoughts. DT, what you think?
I mean, I don't know where to start at. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their perspective. But what I can say is that having promiscuous sex, both as a male or a female, you're allowing yourself to be inside of someone, and you are allowing someone to be inside of you as a woman. And you're allowing all types of personalities and energy to enter into your body. And yes, I listen, I'm not a saint, and the older I've gotten, the more I've realized that what I was doing in my 20s and early 30s was debauchery. It's filthy behavior. It leads to a lot of evils within society, diseases, drama, etc. The best thing to do is to court, have your family involved, and possibly marry the person. I've seen a lot of females in my life who have developed schizophrenia and other types of mental illnesses, and I would bet it's because of sexual promiscuity. I really believe that the older I've gotten, the women that I have met in my life who were peaceful and were domestic were the ones who had low body counts. I'm talking about under 10. But the crazier the female, the more partners she's had. Now, could there be a correlation? Possibly so, but I'm not a scientist. I don't have the data in front of me. But if a female, and I'm not married, I mean, I'm married, but if I were not married and somebody came to me and told me that they had multiple sexual partners at my age, I wouldn't want to be around them because I don't want that energy around me. And that's all I have to say about that one. Go ahead, guys.
How do you really know how many she really had? Just because she told you a number?
Brooke.
Because that bounces right back to regular shape. I'm just saying.
Brooke, hear me out. Every man on this panel, I'm pretty sure, is in the hundreds, except for me. I've only been with like 80 females. I could almost
wow.
I
haven't been with a lot of females. I've only been with about 80. I could almost bet how many a female has been with based on how she has her hair, earrings, the way she talks. Oh, absolutely. I could almost bet at this point. Just in conversation.
But let me just say this.
There's indicators. Tattoos are one of them. Tattoos are a strong indicator. I would say that's like number one. Big hoop earrings. That's a big and I'm not trying to. And I'm saying big hoop earrings. Women who are hippies, like white hippie females or black females, because they're free spirits, right? So what does a free spirit does? They frolic around. Oh, I'm free to do what I want to do. I can have sex with who I want. And I saw this in college. I saw it after college. And so the older I've gotten, call me a stiff. But yes, I can pretty much guess at this point, Brooke. Any more questions, Brooke? Go ahead now.
Hold on. Let what he said before, because Brooke, that was pretty funny what you did. But Chaotic actually said something pretty powerful way before that. And I don't think that he got the credit for it, because a lot of times he be saying bullshit. But I fuck with you in that energy shit. Like, I think there's some truth to that. Yeah. So
the soul tie shit.
Well, that people's essence on you for a series of time. Like I think there's a lot of truth to what he said. And I think because he's so over the top, you know what I mean? Most people probably wouldn't have caught that because he'd be doing too much. But I just wanted to go back to that and give that some credit.
No, you can still pick up energy from people that you've not had sex with.
Bro, those are like non-answers. Like,
you can.
That's like bananas get rotten.
Okay, well, people pick up energies. You pick up energies from people you're not intimate with.
But there's levels to energy. There's different types of energies you absorb by sleeping with people.
There is, but there's also energies that you pick up from people that you.
Right. But when he was saying the shit about like you could pick up an energy off of a person that'll like make you be on some next level shit, like you fucked up mentally. I think there's some truth to shit like that, and that should be glossed over.
That's why there's cults, because people pick up on that energy. They can talk and they can be around you.
But that ain't what we talking about,
but
though.
it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Let me read these super chats real quick. Chef Eddie with the $2 super chat. Jezebels protect Jezebels. Loose P is destructive. I think this P stands for vagina or something. Chef Eddie with the $2 super chat. Pure debauchery on social media. All right, go ahead. Q, you were saying something?
No, I was just asking Rose. She disagrees with the other stuff that Chaotic said, though. Like to
I
your
agree
point,
I agree with the energy. I actually agree with what he said. I agree with that. I agree with that, but I also believe that it comes from because you don't just automatically start taking somebody's clothes off when you come across them, right? So there's people that can talk something and speak to you and be in their energy and take that on.
They don't imprint on you though, bro. They don't imprint on you. Sex, when you have sex with a man, he could potentially imprint on you, right? That's a totally different level of energy. And then if you don't use no protection, like,
put him in a fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Like, of course you can get a bad vibe from somebody. We understand that. But yeah, like everybody ain't Jim Jones and people. You just go come across people you don't like. But that's what Chaotic was alluding to and what Q highlighted. We know what we talking about. Because the fellas, correct me if I'm wrong, unless she like married and all that, but even if so, if it's a chick you smashed more than a few times, right, for some years, you never wifed her. Every time you see her, you can't tell me you gonna got that thought where I could still get it if I wanted to.
Absolutely. And that's a fact.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
Chief?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Chaotic. You feel that if you see a chick that you used to smash and you know, for a while you see her, do you in your mind you think you could still get it?
Of course. That's what most people think, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So that's what we talking about, bro.
I think it is very important, though, you know, especially for the listeners to understand what the meaning of sexual liberation is, because the definition of liberation is, I'm reading it, the act of setting someone free from imprisonment, slavery, or oppression. So what is the cultural definition of sexual liberation?
So
we have to define that, and we have to is it different for men and women? Like, what's the meaning of that?
Alex,
what is sexual liberation?
Alex, you want to read? Alex put it in the private chat. You want to read it, Alex?
Yeah, so sexual liberation is a state of being free from sexual inhibitions that are considered restrictive. And Gunny, we've had this conversation before a few episodes back. And when we talk about sexual liberation, well, for me, I'm not just speaking on the realm of I'm going to post my likes, my wants, and my needs over on social media. Sexual liberation can simply mean for women saying, I prefer this over that when it comes to sex. There was a point in time where women weren't able to go ahead and to say what they wanted. They didn't have the ability to go ahead and say, hey, I want to have sex at this point in time. It was specifically when the man wanted to do so, right? We are now in a space where women have the ability to say, I like this, not that. I want this, not that. Like, we have the ability to communicate with our partners to say, this is what I want. Touch me here, not there. Do this, not that. So it allows the woman to have a say-so in the conversation when it comes to sex. That's what I think about when I feel of sexual liberation. For some people, as Chaotic was speaking, it is the hippie, free-loving, if I want to go and have sex with this person, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do so. That is their business to do so. But I think in the movement of sexual liberation, it's allowing a voice for women to say things when it came to sex that they were not allowed, that they weren't able to say so. Before, sex was just about, it was perceived as just for the man. You have to do so when he wants to do so. The pleasure wasn't there for them. The pleasure wasn't for the woman. It was for the man. But now,
do you know in medieval times, right? They believed that women would only get pregnant if they orgasmed or if they enjoyed it. So that was one of the like, how did she get pregnant? Oh, she enjoyed it and she orgasmed. Okay. And then prostitutes been whoring and inviting men forever. This sexual liberation shit is now where y'all want to be able to have sex willy-nilly without any repercussion. That's really what it is.
Thank you. And that was my point. You know, and Alex, I appreciate your eloquent explanation of it. But and that's cool if you think that. But when I hear the term sexual liberation, and the reason I wanted to clarify is because when I hear that, I think that when I hear that term, it gives women the freedom to be whores.
So, Gunny, let me ask you this. Do you think that if you're in a relationship with a woman, do you have the freedom? Are you comfortable enough to say that you like something over the other? Would you be embarrassed?
Yes, I do.
Was there a time when you weren't able to do that?
No, there wasn't.
Now, do you think that maybe you are an anomaly, but do you think that a lot of men have the ability and the freedom and they'd be comfortable enough to say to a woman, I actually want to try this without fear of judgment?
Do I feel that men have the ability to do that?
Do you feel men are comfortable in saying to a woman, you know what, I feel like trying this shit?
Yeah, I do. I do. I'm not understanding your point, though.
That's an aspect of sexual liberation because, let's say, for example, there are some men who may like, I don't mean to be graphic, but there are some men who may like anal play, right? That's a form of sexual liberation to be able to say to their partner, who may be a woman, to be able to say, hey, I actually like this. With that, and being able to say to his partner without fear of feeling rejection. Him being able to freely say, this is what I like.
That's out.
But that's your definition. There is no clear-cut definition on that.
So the state of being free from sexual inhibitions that are considered restrictive, right? For a heterosexual male, it may be seemed restrictive to say, hey, I like this type of sex. It may be restricted for them to say that, but the liberation aspect of it allows them the ability to go ahead and to do so and to enjoy sex and get things that they also want.
Oh my God.
Right. But okay. So based on that, the societal norms in the society that we live in, does it favor men over women to think like that? Or does it favor women over men to think like that?
It is a favor of women. I do agree on that. It is a favor of women, but sexual liberation also allows for that space for men to be able to go ahead and say what it is that they like. When times before it may have been deemed that's gay, you shouldn't do that, that nigga sus, don't do this and don't do that.
Okay.
So let me simplify. So based on the society that we live in, right? So your definition of what sexual liberation is. Does that hinder women in the society that we live in? Or does that help women? My notion is that it hinders women based on the society that we live in, because a woman being sexually liberated is not going to benefit women. It's going to benefit men because of the societal norms that we're used to. It's not going to benefit women. It's going to make things worse for women. Just like we had this whole slut walk thing. It never worked out because it's 2023. We don't live in the era where women can be sexually liberated and be respected. They're not going to be respected because of it. So because of that, that's why I think it's a negative and not a positive.
And I think
it's different for men.
And I think the opposite of that. If I'm a woman, if I've been in a relationship for the percentage, all women do not have orgasms. So let's just be clear about that, right? And they may not be having that because they're not having those conversations with their partner, right? But when I have the freedom to go ahead and to say, hey, I would like for you to do this so that I can go ahead and I can have my orgasm so that I can enjoy sex, that is a benefit for a woman, yes.
Okay.
Just like it would
That's not sexual liberation.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because
I know. All right, y'all been going back and forth. So go ahead, Chaotic.
I have a question for Alex. Alex, and please forgive me. I've done 2 live streams today. I had a Zoom meeting afterwards, so I'm a little bit tired. So my brain isn't working as fast as everybody else's. Did you just say, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you would be open, essentially, and I'm paraphrasing this now, to performing a sexual act where you're sticking an object inside of a man's butthole? If he's cool with that, just throw me some rope here. I thought that's what you said, or a pair. Okay. What did you say exactly then?
What I said was, there are men who may be interested in certain things when it comes to sex. Maybe there are some men who are into anal play.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Previous times, he may not have been able to say, hey, this is what I like. This is what I want sexually because of the societal norms because of the societal norms. So
Alex, you said what he said. You said.
No, he asked me, Hamp. He asked me, and he asked if I would do that. We are not speaking about me. So
I guess I got a question for you. Would you do that?
No.
Okay, thank God. Okay. Okay, I was confused. I was like, huh? Okay, because my brain is okay.
No, I would not.
Why wouldn't you do that? And why wouldn't you respect that man is being sexually liberated and being free to express himself, to put a,
because
I would respect his want. I would respect that, but that would not be something that I personally would be doing. So I can respect what you're saying, but that's not something that's going to work for me.
Would that be something that was attractive to you?
I'm not going to yuck his yum. Just because that's what you like, it's not for me to sit back and say, oh, that's nasty. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. It's just not for me.
So based on that, do you encourage that or discourage that for men dealing with women?
I encourage, when you are having sex with anyone, to say what it is that you want.
Oh my God.
Well, so you're saying that you encourage a man to be sexually liberated as long as it's something that you don't want.
Stop entertaining that. She got you down a rabbit hole.
I get it. If this was politics, Alex is like a libertarian. I get it. No, but seriously, that's what she is. She's like a libertarian. I get it. Everybody just has a free choice. I get what she's saying. That she might be against it, but her philosophy is that, hey, you do you. I get Alex now. Okay, my brain wasn't working that fast. I got you.
Here's the ill part about that, CT.
Yeah.
If her husband, like, yo, babe, I saw this on Pornhub that y'all love so much. I want to try it. She ain't with it because she got something against it, and it is judgment. It ain't about just freedom, because she got a problem with it at some extent.
But she wouldn't care if her neighbor did it. I get where she's coming from, though.
She would look at her neighbor differently. If that nigga CT, if he come out of the house limping, and she know that he just inquired about something, she tapping her friend. Yo, that nigga did some X, Y, and Z. Come on, man.
I have a question.
Go ahead, bro.
So, hold on.
Alex, are you a Zeta?
I am not Greek. My husband is, but I am not Greek.
Okay.
So, if I know what works for me, right, and this is our first time, and what you're doing doesn't work for me, and I say, can we try that? How do you look at me? Like, how do you see that as a first time in my life?
Let's make it real. Let's make it real, Brooke. So he on top, right? He's slow stroking. Let's say you want shit, Brooke. You might as well be free, right? Because y'all love this sexual liberation shit. What you like? The fast stroke, the short stroke? Which one? You turning red and shit. Go ahead.
I'm red. I'm always red. I mean, it would depend on shape and size, I guess.
She went the jackhammer.
So you saying if you asked him something like that, I think he'll be fine with it, right?
See, I don't see that. I feel like I'm being judged like I'm a hoe. Like, you know what you like and you know what works for you, and you over here telling me, like, I feel like that's not taken serious.
Nah, I don't think men look at it like that.
So if y'all wives tell you y'all weren't satisfying them, y'all would be okay with that?
What you say, bro?
If your wives said that you were not satisfying them, would y'all be okay with that?
What you need me to do, love? What you need me to do, baby girl?
Word.
Because that's your
That's
wife.
simple. Because we married. That's simple.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like sexual liberation, right? I kind of thought it was more like towards like kind of being old school and just kind of, we really didn't speak up back when I was first introduced to sex. I didn't really speak up. It was more about making sure he was good. And so I'm at a point in my life now where I do speak up. And so my thing is like back then, if I were to, you would just assume that I had like a million partners.
Whoa.
Nah, that ain't factual, Brooke.
I mean, we can tell. Listen,
I'm just asking.
If we had enough sex in our lives. Chaotic is not lying when he said men put up big numbers. We could tell if a woman is experienced. right? We could tell by how she feel. All vaginas are not created equal. I'm so sick of women walking around. Half of y'all sitting on garbage cans and don't even know it. This shit be trash. But y'all be acting like, oh, it's just about the man's penis. No, that vagina could be Snoop Dogg shit, bro. They are all not the same. Like this shit. I mean, I just like. So what I'm saying is, we could tell. We could tell if you know a little something. We could tell if you got work from the bottom. Because a lot of chicks think you just lay there on the bottom. That's not the case. So we know. We know somebody taught you. What did Kanye say? Yeezy taught me, right? Oh no, Chris Rock said it, right? We know. I mean,
and Rolo, if you come to me and you say that you're not satisfying me, the relationship is already over with. It's a done deal. It's not even worth talking about. If you come to me and say you're not satisfying me, it's already over.
Why?
A wrong choice of words.
No, I think it was good because Gunny, we can get lazy too. People get lazy and complacent, and then you got to get woken up a little bit sometimes.
But
oh yeah, definitely. But I'm just repeating exactly what she said. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what she said.
But I'm asking, why would it be over instead of having a discussion and saying, well, what do you like? Why would that not be?
I think because that makes you more insecure.
It's not the fact that
something.
No, it's not the fact that you made me more insecure. It's just the fact that you've already stated that, like, it's all about communication. So if I'm having an issue with you sexually, you know, it's all about how I phrase it. I'm not going to come to you and say, hey, you're not pleasing me. If I do that, then I'm already pretty much telling you that it's a done deal.
So what
hey babe, maybe you can do this or maybe you can do that. But
that's still telling them you're not satisfying them. I don't understand what you're saying. It's just saying it in a way where, I don't know, it's fluffy or something. If you just
so how would you say it then? If your man is not satisfying you, how would you approach him? Would you say verbatim?
Gunny, don't give it an answer. Hold on, watch this.
Okay, sorry.
All right, Ro. Gunny,
I'm gonna say.
Ro. Slow down. All right, you married the Gunny. Go ahead, tell him.
Last night was not a good night, and I feel like you are not satisfying me.
What Gunny?
It's over with. It's done deal. Come on, bro.
Wow.
That's damn.
Gunny, you can't say that.
I mean, so what would you like me to say? Would you like me to say? The last 3 times we were intimate, I didn't have an orgasm. I didn't feel like we were connecting. What would you like me to say? How would you?
I would like for you to say that, hey, babe, you know, the last couple of nights, you know, you didn't maybe hit this spot or hit that spot or whatever the case may be. You know, I really wasn't feeling it. Maybe you could do this different, or hey, maybe you should try this, or maybe you should try that. Or babe, look, I really like when you do this. I really like when you do that. But to come straight out and just say you didn't do X, Y, and Z, nah. How do you expect to get any results from that? If we're married, right, and I come to you and I say, babe, I don't like what you did, how would you feel about that?
I'm gonna say, what did I do? And
your teeth all on my shit.
You need to communicate. You need to communicate that.
Shit like that.
So you be open to that?
To be able to say, I don't mind that. I feel like that's your way of communicating. I've talked about this before. I believe that you need to speak to somebody on how they take in communication. And if I take in communication directly like that, then yes. But if you're my husband and you don't, and I realize that you don't like for me to be direct, I'm going to speak to you in the way that you take in communication. I've said this numerous of times on this panel. I believe in speaking to somebody in the way they take in communication.
Bro, you single?
I am.
I think it's something important about having direct conversation, but also I think when it comes to that type of conversation, Gunny, I like how you posed that where you kind of said, well, let me put what it is that you do that I like, or if it's something that you don't do that I would like, kind of phrasing that in a way that I would like this. Because I think when you come in there and you say what you didn't like, when that person is now responding to that, that sex is going to be very calculated and it's going to be uncomfortable.
Right.
So just to add to that.
Right.
That's 100% true.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place to be very. I'm a direct person, as you guys can tell, but there's a time and a place to be direct, and there's a time and a place to be compassionate, and trying to get the results that you want. If you want a good relationship and you want to grow, and you're not really, really getting what you want, is it the appropriate time to be direct and tell the person exactly what you don't like?
I agree with you. And as I've said before, it is about how you take in communication. My husband or my person can tell me directly, I wasn't satisfied. And so my next question is going to be, well, what would you like me to do? Because that's how I take in communication. Everybody doesn't take it in that way. And I was using that as an example, but of course.
You don't feel a certain way because of that? If the person you're with comes to you and says you're not satisfied, that doesn't make you feel that?
Y'all going in circles a little bit, right?
But
we understand both points. Hold on a second, Q. But we understand both points in which we're making. I think the one thing that's slightly missing here is this is a husband, which means that there has to have been some level of satisfaction when you guys got together. So if my wife comes to me and tell me I've been bullshitting, the reason why I can take it directly is that because I know I'm not a bullshitter, or that's not my modus operandi. If she was not satisfied from Jump Street and she'd be like, listen, man, this shit just ain't working, that's a different ball game. But if she like, yo, you've been slacking, I could take it on the chin, pause, because I know I can get back to a level where she was already satisfied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that just, you know what I'm saying? But I understand both points, you know what I mean? God damn.
I feel like it's the word not satisfied. I think that's a harsh word to say to somebody. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the other half.
Bro brought that shit up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying walk in the kitchen in the morning and say, nigga, I wasn't satisfied last night. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we're having a discussion and I'm saying, babe, last night I wasn't satisfied. Is there something going on?
Y'all said it a bunch of times, man.
That would to be able to say that though to your partner.
I think it is, because you'll be able to have that conversation with him, because if you don't, he's going to keep doing it.
Nah, man. Nah, you can't do that. That's not right.
Okay.
It's not. When you care about someone and you love someone, you're in a relationship with someone, you don't do that. The ultimate goal is for you to grow together. And you can't promote growth by being direct all the time. That's a leadership issue.
But that's a woman talking, though. She ain't the leader in the first place.
Well, whether she's a woman or a man, it doesn't matter. We all have aspects about us that, when it comes to being leaders, a woman can be a leader in certain aspects, of course, but it all depends on the role that you're playing with your husband.
It really boils down to sex being ego driven. So I think that's why that is just a sensitive topic. It's like, because there's so much ego involved. You know what I mean? There's nobody who's going into that situation and you don't feel like you doing what you need to do. I mean, with the exception of what Hamp was saying, like, I don't usually, get down like that. I know that I need to step it up, but ultimately you're gonna feel like you're doing your thing. I mean, unless you're like DJ Envy or somebody, but but you know what I'm saying? And that's no.
I don't know if everybody got that.
He really thought he was doing his thing and he wasn't doing shit. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's so ego driven that you're really like you're kind of jabbing at that person's ego unbeknownst to you. And I know that in your position that wouldn't be intentional, but likewise, if you felt like you was doing your thing, giving him some head, and then he's like, I don't like the extra spit or whatever, if he just says that like that, I don't like, you're gonna feel away. Fuck being direct, because that's a blow to your ego.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think that in terms of when somebody's saying you're not performing well sexually, I don't even think it matters how they say it. It's gonna hurt. Like I think, you know,
that's why I said kind of how Gunny posed it. Like, I like this more, or let's switch this up. You know, it's a certain way you can present that. But
yeah, maybe you know what may be helpful, maybe presenting in real time. So if y'all in the act, maybe switch positions, ask to switch positions right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Or contort your body in a different way if you want the right wall fucked up as opposed to the left one. I mean, all this shit matters, but the silence in the moment, I think, be messing people up. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. To Gunny point.
I absolutely agree that you need to talk to someone how they take in communication and be sensitive to I agree with that. I'm not saying I agree with you.
In the moment, it's so much better than later on.
Damn. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Man, I apologize for the stream dropping midstream, but I want to say shout out to everybody who's been viewing. Everybody got right, man, for sure. There's so many goddamn questions I got regarding social media. I might just have to do a part 3, right? Because there's like 6 questions I got left, man, and they're not as relationship oriented, but I think they kind of dope. I want to just ask this question. We can expound on it next week. Bub, are you addicted to social media?
Absolutely not.
Alex?
No.
Gunny?
Yes, I am.
Chief?
No.
Q?
No.
Bro?
No.
Brooke?
I would say, yeah. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is check out a video or two to kind of like get in my day or see if something was commented on my stuff. So I would say, yeah, because, you know, I used to be able to just get up and not touch that. But I could also put my phone down and not touch it all day. So, but it is in my mind to check it once in a while throughout the day. So I would say, yeah.
So that's what I want y'all to do next week. Everybody free next Wednesday? We're going to do a part 3, all right? So I want you to look at your screen time for the week until you hit Wednesday. Take a screenshot of that screen time. Because I want to see. Because I'm gonna look up some stats and say what's a lot of screen time. Might be mindful. Things that qualify social media. The X videos that you watch on private, that counts. YouTube, that counts. And of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, that counts. So make sure you guys consider those things. Because again, the largest search engine in the world is YouTube. It's not Google, like people think. All right. So I don't really fuck with Jerry Springer, but I do like one of his constructs. Hey, I got to do a few shout outs. Spencer's been here since Jump. Official Stacks. What up, though? Rock, I see you. Goddamn, infamous Eli City champion Will. Shout out to Chaotic for AW. It's a lot of people. Ty, what up, though? I'll be on the other panel and shit, Ty. So me and Ty be on the same page. Ty Israel. Z been here from the jump. I appreciate y'all. Oh, Eddie, of course, was in the chat and shit. Word. I don't really fuck with Jerry Springer, but I do like one of his constructs. Alex talk a lot tonight, too. Final thought.
Okay. Social media isn't always reality, and definitions and knowing what you're talking about is important, such as the term genetics. That is something that is inherited. Again, as I mentioned, such as eye color, hair color, things of that nature, not your poor diet habits. That's not genetic.
Word. Gunny?
Hey, salute to the chat. Great conversation. You guys be good.
Word. Chief?
Social media should absolutely not run your relationship. And if you're tripping about social media, I think you should take a deeper dive into yourself and find out why.
Brooke?
I agree with that. I don't think social media is that serious, other than business and all that, but all that personal stuff, if you have that insecurities, it's something you have to talk to within each other.
Ro?
I don't allow social media to dictate my life. My 17 and 15-year-old don't even have a social media. I believe that real life can be real. And I'll just leave it there.
Word. Bub.
Earlier, Chaotic has said that social media has ruined a lot of relationships, and I would have to agree with him. And all I want to say is, if it's ever getting to that point, you might have to put that shit down. And as far as that Lizzo pick, that shit was absolutely disgusting. Women, y'all gotta stop championing shit like that and knock the fuck off. Get it?
Word. Q.
Shout out to the panel, yo. I love y'all. Like I always say, live and walk in your truth. And Lizzo, we love you, but put some goddamn clothes on.
Word. Yeah, I think it's important, and I think we do a poor job in this day and age of protecting a lot of stuff. Our relationships, our children. There's so much exposure out here, and social media is the main thing that perpetuates things that we don't like. And when you're not looking, things are happening, right? So we put guards up and barriers up and locks on our doors just in case we're not there to protect it. So it's not insecurity. I think it makes sense in terms of what is yours. You make sure it's well kept. Of course, some people err on the side of I don't trust this person, so X, Y, and Z. But I think as a man with a wife and with a child and with children, you need to seriously consider what they consume and who's influencing them. Because best believe people in inboxes, people saying things that you don't say, right? That one argument, that one misstep, those are the people that start to pop up and populate in their head, right? Because people make mistakes, right? So in understanding that and being a protector, I think we got to consider all things, you know? And Lizzo,
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
that is not body positivity. That's a lot of body positivity. You gotta chill, bro. Like I think you're super talented, but I'm talking like she might hit this shit. You're super talented, but that shit really takes away from me. I don't even like playing her shit in the club because I could just see the imagery that is unnecessary. What's the big joint they used to do it back in the day, bub? Kelly Price.
Yeah,
A nice little run. She wasn't always naked.
never.
Try that. I don't know, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.